This is Non-Binary Awareness Week. Its meaning and importance.
So for me, being non-binary is really just like figuring out what identity fit me best. I realized that I wasn't really a guy or a girl. I didn't fit the gender binary, and being this way just feels better to me. I use gender-neutral pronouns, they and them, and I use gender-neutral language to describe myself. So the most commonly used gender-neutral pronouns are they and them. They are gender-neutral, which means they don't really have either male or female labels attached to them. They and them have actually been used as singular pronouns since around the 14th century. You probably use it as a singular pronoun all the time without recognizing it. Like if there's someone across the parking lot, you just say like, hey, I think they double parked. There are some pretty funny alternatives like they'dies and gentle thems, which I quite like. But you can also just say everyone or folks or y'all. A really nice alternative actually that I heard was date mate instead of boyfriend or girlfriend. When I first came out, my brother immediately started calling me his sibling. Figuring out that I was non-binary is one of the hardest things for me, at least to put into words. I do remember just thinking that there is something wrong with me, that I am the weird kid for wanting to hang out with like only the guys or only the girls when I shouldn't be. But it's different now. It's correct in a way that is weird and new, and I can find other people who feel what I'm feeling, and I can talk to them and I can make friends. For me, finding this particular label has been pretty amazing.
Non-binary individuals have existed throughout history. The Egyptian Pharaoh Hatshepsut was assigned female at birth, but would frequently present themselves in person and in art as both genders. Being gender fluid is just one example of being non-binary. Others, like rapper Angel Haze, identify as agender. Yet others identify as bigender, or as it is called in many Native American cultures, two-spirit. People who identify this way feel both male and female at the same time, instead of one or the other. In 2012, International Non-Binary Peoples Day was first celebrated. The day is observed on July 14th, the halfway point between International Men's Day and International Women's Day. The week surrounding that day has become an important week for celebrating awareness of non-binary people, pronouns, and what being non-binary means. I'm learning so much. I love being here just to learn and understand what's going on, because this is extremely new to me still, and I'm still trying to make sure that I get it right.
Well, because we're old, right? Because we're old.
Right. Not gonna lie to you. I'm like, she, them, wait, who? How many people are there? I'm like, I don't understand. But in, all jokes aside, when I do meet people and I am unsure, I just start asking questions. I said, what do you prefer? What makes you happy? What is the most comfortable way, to have conversations, and because I don't want to be the person who insulted someone.
Of course not.
And they just, she just had no clue. And I'm like, instead of having no clue, just ask questions. Ask as many questions as possible. That's my take on it.
Well, and let's say, okay, there's not a non-binary representation at the table today, right? We have L's and G's here, but this education is how we stay powerful, is how we continue this fight that we're in. And, they, them was something that I think we all had to get used to, for the vieja like me, it grammatically sounded wrong. And that was why it was difficult to do initially. But I love my community so much, and I respected my community that I needed to figure out how to do it, and I've done it. Now, I was talking to Dino before the show. I am attempting to do the same in Spanish, which is way harder.
Of course.
Way harder. But what I've also learned in this process, folks, is that you can learn gender neutral things like folks. Like I'm really trying not to say, hey guys anymore, because that is also wrong and not inclusive. So I'm like DJ Nena, learning as I go and taking notes and asking the questions. And 9 out of 10 people will have no issue answering your question the best they can.
Right.
Right. I just came back from Gay Pride in Bogota, Colombia.
Ooh,
And actually, because like you guys, I'm not very
you said guys.
This. Right. But I mean, right, exactly
Y'all.
right.
Y'all is
That's
good.
exactly the point. And I read, young people's sign on the parade referring as, in Spanish, in Spanish we say todos,
Okay.
which you know,
Which is all of you.
It's all of us, all of you, but it basically is conjugated in the male, version. So instead of todos, they're writing todes.
With the ES
With
at
that
the end,
ES,
folks.
right? And to mean that, it's neither todos nor todas, which is
not.
the female conjugation, which is something that, is being worked out. Not only here in the English, language, it's also being worked out in the Spanish language, where we have the male and female version of everything that we conjugate, right? So it's even, it's more needed, if you may, right, in the Spanish language. So it's something that is obviously roughing some people's the wrong way, because especially people that defend the language. But we had this in the Spanish culture forever. We had a documentary, a feature film in the film festival last year from Mexico called Finlandia.
Oh my God, I love that.
Finlandia.
I loved that movie. And I learned so much from that
Right?
movie also. And it's not about the vodka.
No,
I
it's
thought
not
it
about
was.
the vodka. It was about this community in the Zapotec community south of Mexico, in the Chiapas area on the border with Guatemala. It was about the Munces and the third gender, if you may, and people that are considered non-binary.
Yes.
So,
Wow.
and they have existed there forever and ever before this conversation even started here. They've been respected, sometimes discriminated as well, but they existed in Mexico forever and ever and ever. We don't know much about it because it stays there, but we need to learn about that, how the community has dealt with them.
Yeah.
And we need to respect that.
Because some
Another-
people, I'm sorry, Greg.
No, another great movie is The Garden Left Behind. There's another great movie
The
about a
Garden Left
trans,
Behind, I love
beautiful,
that.
Seen that.
beautiful film. But that video was so powerful,
yes.
and to hear that voice and to hear this person explain everything, that video should become like required viewing for everybody.
A young person.
Very young
Yeah.
and
Yes.
so knowledgeable because they're living it. They're
How
going
old
for
were
it.
they? Listen to me.
Very good. Good job.
I feel like our younger LGBTQ plus community is so much smarter than all of us
They are.
at the
No.
table. They are more alert. They are more in tune.
They're
with
not as
everything.
tainted, Nina. They're not as tainted. Listen, okay, I hung out with a friend's little nephews, niece and nephews, a couple of weeks back. And there was a non-binary child. And I, one time, literally said to the boy, their pronouns are they, them. Okay, all right, I'm going with them to the park. It was like nothing. Like 2 seconds later, they used it, they ran with it. And I was like, do you have any questions for me? No, Titi Faye, I'm good. And
Beautiful.
there was nothing
No need to
else.
I love it.
process,
That's
I mean,
fantastic.
seriously. So, I think that the more visibility and the more education is key. I want to, let's think about, Demi Lovato. Demi Lovato is an incredible celebrity who has come out as non-binary. Rose McGowan also. Sam Smith, I mean, those are incredible. Jonathan Van Ness, Queer Eye, I love him. He's a huge, huge visible non-binary person. And he is who he is, and I love it.
Is Billy Porter non-binary?
I think he is.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either, and I don't want to give him the wrong
not
title.
Sure how
but
they identify,
Right.
but
I have to look that up for the next show.
Right.
yes.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Lara are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.